Knicks fans are turning on one of this team's star players, as fans have been very upset with the way that Karl-Anthony Towns has been playing in their starting unit and just under Mike Brown's offense, with Jalen Brunson going ahead and speaking out on it, and it becoming very clear that the Knicks are missing something crucial to what makes this team a true championship contender. We're going to go over all that, guys, and we're going to waste no time jumping right into things as always. But real quick, if you are a part of that percentage, that 55% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Knicks update. We got videos every single day that you don't want to miss out on. And right now, with this season being underway, there is a lot of stuff to go over, including the fact that Knicks fans have started to turn on center, power forward, whichever position he's playing on this night, Karl-Anthony Towns, as Towns has been one of the better players in the NBA for a very, very long time now, being a consistent all-star, and last year being an all-star starter with the Knicks. Proven to be one of the best big men in the NBA, Karl-Anthony Towns has had a whole lot of success, and since coming to the Knicks, the success has been there as well. But fans have now started to turn on Cat, as he does have some flaws that are really hard for a lot of fans to get past. And with all this happening right now, just 4 games into the season, fans are starting to turn on Towns, believing that the Knicks cannot win an NBA Finals with Towns as the second best player on this team and as their second option. While other fans are calling it an overreaction, Knicks fans are now split over one of the best players on their team, as he had an atrocious game against the Milwaukee Bucks that ended with Kyle Kuzma even sort of calling him out, just saying, I've been in the league long enough, I've played Towns enough to really understand what he wants to do. A lot of times guys who are physical don't want you to be physical, and it probably frustrated him a little bit. Kyle Kuzma was known to be very physical with Karl-Anthony Towns, and it worked out quite well, with Kuzma holding Karl-Anthony Towns to one of the lowest scoring games he's had, or the lowest scoring game he's ever had as a Knick, with Cat putting up 8 points. It was an absolutely atrocious game for the Knicks big man, and he was dealing with a lot of physicality from a Bucks team, and Cat was not liking it. It caused a lot of issues, and Knicks fans are very concerned over Karl-Anthony Towns and what his future holds with the Knicks, because of the fact that a lot of them just don't believe he can be that real championship player. And recently, just comments from Mike Brown have also talked about this as well, saying, I promise you, if we did the things that we're talking about offensively in terms of our staples, Cat's gonna be more than fine. Everyone does it, I do it, but as a team, we have to limit that the best that we can. And on top of that, Karl-Anthony Towns spoke out on it and said, I got to do whatever is needed to win. I pressed a little bit too much today in the second half. I didn't do what we needed to do to win. That's on me, and I take full responsibility for that. So Karl-Anthony Towns, as usual, saying the right things in the media, but there has been a whole lot of fear that the Knicks big man is just not having a good season. And frankly, he's not having the great start that he had last time around. And a lot of people are pointing towards Mike Brown, saying, what's the difference between him and Tom Thibodeau? Well, the Knicks are still learning Mike Brown's system. They're 4 games in, and Mike Brown said he's not going to fully unlock the system until the Knicks have the basics down. He's taking this slow. He's slow rolling it, because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys right now. The Knicks don't care about the regular season. They don't care, man. They overplayed their guys in the regular season last year, and the Knicks are trying to do the polar opposite of that this year, and if anything, underplay their guys in this regular season. We are going to see the Knicks not play their guys a ton and not get everything looking like they're trying to win the finals on day 1 of the season. They're just not going to do that. The Knicks are 2-2 right now. They frankly could not care less about what their record is through 4 games. The only 4-game stretches they're going to care about are going to be in the playoffs, and that is it. They are not going to care right now. The Knicks, they are not unlocking this team. They are not doing everything that they're going to be doing throughout the year. Understandably, fans are upset because the basketball looks sloppy. It looks very similar to Tom Thibodeau's style. There's not the offense, that quick-paced offense that's supposed to be working out right now. It's not fully hitting fruition because a lot of these players are used to Tom Thibodeau. But frankly, the Knicks don't care. They don't care right now. The Knicks, they're focused on winning the NBA Finals, not breaking the league's wins record. Mike Brown even said as much going into this, that he's like, I don't really care as much about regular season wins. I care about playoff wins, and that's exactly the plan that Mike Brown has had in place for a while now and will keep in place for this team. On top of that, we just see Jalen Brunson even talking about this as well, saying it's part of the reason why we lost. I have to be a better leader and put that as a better part of my game. And he said that he didn't do a good job of making sure teammates were feeding off of each other, particularly with Karl-Anthony Towns. For the most part, Brunson and Towns have been an interesting duo because, look, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns should be the best pick-and-roll duo in the NBA. They just should be. The only one that should come close is De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. Outside of that, it should be Brunson and Towns. And the question is that going to be able to work if you have a 5-out team? Well, the Knicks not having Deuce McBride for a little bit is certainly going to be an issue here as well, because with Deuce there, you do get the 5 out. Your point of attack defense stays strong. You have OG. You have Mikal Bridges. It all makes sense, and it's going to continue to work well. We've seen that unit work quite well in the past with the Knicks as well. I mean, obviously, Tom Thibodeau never once used it for a single second, but Mike Brown has started that unit, and when Deuce McBride gets back from the family issues, and I would expect him to play in the coming days as well. I do think he'll be there for their next game. With just everything surrounding them, I do think that Deuce is going to be a huge part of this. They are going to start starting Deuce a lot more too. We have to remember that Mike Brown, the year that the Sacramento Kings made the playoffs and he won Coach of the Year, the Knicks ultimately decided to go with, or the Kings ultimately decided to go with a lineup that featured De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. So when you look at that unit in itself, what it quickly becomes is a small ball lineup that has a point of attack defender, that has wings that can guard multiple positions and play different roles with the team. So I think that Knicks fans are really overreacting to this. And also, Cat's playing 2 different positions. He's playing power forward some nights, starting next to Huck Porty. And then there's nights against the Milwaukee Bucks where the Knicks are starting in their backcourt, Jalen Brunson and Landry Shamet. So the Knicks, they're moving things around. Cat was the only big man out there on the court for this team against Giannis and Miles Turner, which is just a duo that the Knicks should have been starting Ariel Hukporti for. Now, obviously, a lot of this also comes back to Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks need Robinson there. He's always been their X factor. He's been that X factor that the Knicks have had for years and years and years now. And I do think that when Mitch is back, it'll help everything, because Cat's going to settle into more of that power forward role, playing center against guys who they know that he'll have the favorable matchup against. And outside of that, the Knicks will keep Cat as more of a power forward guy. Now, we've seen just a lot of comments about this, and Jonathan Macri did mention that sometimes a player is what he is, and Karl-Anthony Towns, as much as any other player, for better or worse, is what he is. You could bring in Tom Thibodeau, you could bring in Mike Brown, you could bring in Red Holtzman. You could bring in Red Auerbach. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make much of a damn difference who Cat is. Cat, thus far this season, the numbers, I mean, the raw numbers don't look bad, but it's honestly pretty abysmal when we look at it. He's putting up 17 points and 13.5 rebounds, which is great. We know Cat's going to get a million rebounds and score the ball, but he's shooting 35% from the field over these 4 games. He's shooting 33% from 3. What we're seeing right now with Knicks fans is the equivalent to what we saw with Mikal Bridges last time around, except now it's focused on Cat. Oh, this guy's supposed to be better. We need him to be better, or we're not going to succeed. So what exactly are we going to do? Is the whole season cooked? The answer is no. The answer is it's been 4 games. Mikal figured it out and made 2 of the great defensive plays in Knicks history couple months later. So I'm really not concerned. I'm not concerned about Cat at all. We know how good Karl-Anthony Towns is at basketball. That's what people seem to be forgetting, is how good that Karl-Anthony Towns actually is. I mean, look here, as DJ Ace mentioned, did I think Karl-Anthony Towns played a good game? No. Was he at times bad? Yes. Did Mike Brown do a great job of making his life easier for him? No, he did not. In terms of playbook, in terms of play calling, the rotation, and the passing with Hart and Towns was a big factor against the Bucks, and that's true. Josh Hart also had a terrible game. Fans are calling out Josh Hart as well. Josh Hart's clearly still injured. I'm not worried about Josh Hart either. I know that the Knicks are going to figure out how to use Josh Hart. He's a Swiss Army knife type of guy who absolutely, they're going to figure it out. I'm not concerned. I really think that a lot of fans are overreacting right now. As mentioned here by Mike Brown, Cat, we're going to move him around a lot. This was before the season, obviously. He's not just going to play the 5. He'll be all over the floor. He'll be able to shoot the basketball. We'll show, because we're going to move him around. It's tougher for Cat to figure out Mike Brown's system right now than the rest of these guys, because he's playing the 4 some nights. He's playing the 5 some nights. It's a little bit difficult. Cat said he didn't know his role as well. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not surprised that Karl-Anthony Towns is having a bad start to this season. I'm not surprised at all. But here's the thing that we have to remember. When it comes down to the big moments, Cat's performed. I know all the talk about his playoff performance, but look, here's these numbers. Here's these Eastern Conference Finals numbers. 25 points per game, 12 rebounds. True shooting at 60%, 50% from the field. Had that 20-point fourth quarter against the Indiana Pacers that saved, or 20-point half that saved the Knicks from going down 3-0 to the Pacers. Don't forget how good Karl-Anthony Towns has been in the orange and blue. That's what fans are forgetting right now. They're forgetting how good Karl-Anthony Towns has been. Not everybody is Jalen Brunson. Not everybody's going to start every season balling out and continue that way. JB's putting up 32 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, doing Jalen Brunson things. Right now, it feels very similar to Thibodeau when he was carrying the team, when Brunson was carrying the team, that is. Here's the thing that we have to remember. We saw this last year. We did this dance last year with Mikal Bridges. I should not really have to explain why after just that and after the way Knicks fans feel about Mikal now, and also this year when the man's shooting right now over 50% from three over these 4 games. Well, no one's talking about Mikal being not worth those picks anymore because we know Mikal is absolutely worth all the picks right here because, I mean, it is what it is. I'm ready to trade that 28th, 2028, 2029, 2030 pick. I don't care. Send them all for Mikal Bridges, man. I don't mind this Knicks lineup. People are now upset that the Knicks are paying OG too much money as well. I don't care. OG Anunoby is that good, making the players he's guarding say OGs. Like, that's the thing that I'm not worried about here with the Knicks, and you shouldn't be either. They're going to be fine. This is what this team does. They start slow. They adjust. They now have a new coach. They're still learning the system. They don't care about regular season wins as long as they're a top 2, 3, 4 seed, which in the East should be pretty much of a cakewalk. I'm not concerned. If you are concerned, please try to tell me why. What actually concerns you? Give me a reason why, and I will make sure to respond. I'm going to lock in and respond to a lot of comments, guys. We're going to have a bunch of fun on this channel moving forwards. And always, and guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Like it, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a wonderful day. Go Knicks.